Hello, I think you can hear me now. Welcome to this session. We are going to start a bit earlier and use these extra minutes perhaps for the Q&A at the end. So welcome to this section about organizational perspectives, where we're going to see a lot of use cases of STAC and COG within different organizations. I'm going to, after like around 4 minutes and 30, I'm going to show you this paper as a warning, and then at 5:30 I will show you this one, and then at 6 I will intervene, but not before that. And so for the audience, I mean, if you can post your questions either in the chat window or in the Gitter channel. We can go over those through the end, or I mean, in the end, maybe you also be able to unmute yourself and ask questions. So please feel free to post your questions, and we'll try to address those at the end of the presentations. So we'll start, without further ado, we'll start with a presentation from Mónica Diez from GEOSAT about cloud optimized services from GEOSAT. And she's going to tell us a bit about the challenges of migration from in-house catalog of satellite imagery to the cloud-based environment and techniques. So looking forward for this presentation. Over to you, Mónica.
Thanks, Diana, for the introduction. So let me just share my screen. Okay, thanks. So could you just see my screen now? Could you see my screen?
We can, yes.
We can see your screen.
Okay, okay, great. Sweet, thanks. So thanks for the introduction. I would just like to thank the organizer for just being able to express what are the main challenges that we address throughout our, let's say, transition into this cloud environment from the local one that still we are in train of just closing this up, but yeah, just to overview of to have a small overview of what are we doing in GEOSAT. So I will have no introduction of GEOSAT company. We are just an SME located in Spain, which owns and operates 2 Earth observation satellites, GEOSAT 1, GEOSAT 2, formerly known as Deimos 1, Deimos 2. We basically work on the data provision, customize and fully tailor services to clients, and obviously this cloud impact of the new techniques and new powerful capacities that the cloud allows to us, it's each time more demanded by our clients. So we had to, over the last decade, perform this transition. Obviously, geospatial data has become just a habitual trend in the industry, since it has become easier and more accessible, and the storage options definitely has increased significantly at the same time. So basically, these new ways of geospatial data collection technologies, such as satellites, have brought new data storages and processing requirements that are more complex and more demanding. But anyway, this requirement could be met with cloud computing technologies with the support of these new main 2 standards that we feel should be embraced at GEOSAT. The first one is the COG, really GOG allows for just fast and efficient access to pixels. We, for the very first time, we launched our first satellite, GEOSAT 1. We have been working with GeoTIFF every single time. So this transition into GOG is really smooth, and really we are happy to get this onward. So really kudos to all this community that had allowed to get GOG as really a powerful standard with a lot of libraries and capabilities all around the libraries and the open source capabilities. Also, since it's fully supported by or the full ORGC protocols, WMS, and all so forth, so really it's quite easy to work with, and also with T. Tyler, with Vincent really made a great tutorial yesterday on what to do and what not to do with GOG. It was really quite easy to integrate through GDAL and T. Tyler this GOG products into our complete workflow. And what we are now just finishing up is the standardization to a STAC, really to have this capability of searching and discovering the catalog from our satellites, and to be able to normalize these missing parameters with regards to the rest of the missions, such as the Sentinels or other partners and in the EO community, such as Planet or Airbus. It's really powerful, and it's the customers are happy to get that. Okay, so regarding the STAC implementation approach that we are following, it's based on FastAPI. We have just checked that really there are some great tutorials on FastAPI, and we really are confident that really this kind of platform, Python-based, it's really making a game changer in the current situation. Obviously, the extensions are needed as well regarding the context fields, etc. But really, the main challenge that we are facing now, it's imagine that we have a very large time series, very large catalog. So with the GEOSAT, we have been working since 2009. And we have been just covering the world several times now, and this paging support for very large collection are just some tricky, but I'm sure that we will be just resolving this anytime soon. And we are trying to implement this STAC support also in a serverless, so as to be able to scale up in case of different applications being needed. So really, it's the time is really the needed one for the implementation.
Monica, just to warn you that we are coming to the end of the time.
Okay, perfect. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So regarding the what were the implementations that we are planning, it's just to automate and orchestrate the deployment and the requested steps on the geospatial processing of our data to be in a scalable platform that runs in every single cloud provider. There are lots, and certainly there will come a lot more, but we have to make sure that every single step or every single application that we offer to the client are fully compatible with any of the cloud providers in case they want to fully integrate their systems located in some of the cloud providers with our processing chain. So regarding the Amazon Web Services, we have been implementing different steps and functions, plus the Lambda functions and the Fargate containers, allowing to just perform a seamless integration of the geoprocessing by changing JSON, which is also a quite powerful file for this purpose. With Azure as well, there's some logic app service allowing to integrate the different Azure functions also to carry out with the full processing chain. And with the Google Cloud as well, there's this workflow services, but it's still the workflow are quite more difficult to manage in the sense that it's limited to just HTTP requests that are triggering these Google Cloud functions. So we are still back in time with the integration into Google Cloud. But anyway, these workflow definition models are commonly used to define these GEOSAT processing workflows into ready-to-use COG RD products for GEOSAT 2 mainly, which is, as you may know, it's a very high resolution with 75 centimeter, which allows just to get data integrated in other further applications that any client may have. So sorry for just wanted to perform a very quick introduction, but anyway, please feel free to come back to us with any question you may have. This is my Twitter and my email, and I would be happy to come back to you with any information. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Monica, and I'm sure we have some questions for you. So let's give the word to the next speaker, Rhys Evans from CDA, and he's going to tell us about STAC at the UK Centre for Environmental Data Analysis. Over to you, Rhys. So I have a quick question, actually. So you have experience processing with different cloud platforms, with AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, right? Do you see it as a very different, the processes that you had to configure in the different providers? Is it like you have to start from scratch, or there are some similarities?
Yeah, well, there are kind of similarities in the way that there have their tools to provide this workflow definition, and obviously you have to dig into all the tutorials and documentation, supporting documentation, in order to know exactly what are the functions. Also, there are differences towards what kind of serverless implementations are available. Amazon, it's quite advanced in that way, but I'm sure that as Basil just showed, with COIL, it's many other options out there that could be leveraged to get let's say in a competition and which is the one that we are looking forward to see many other competitors enter into the market and being able to get the most of any of them.
Okay, thank you very much. So